Okay, good morning and welcome to Daf Yomi Mesachas Yevamos Daf Yudches number 18. Because 18 is Chai, you have to have L'chaim. I bought this bottle, I think you pronounce it Cognac, Cognac. If you're not familiar with what this is, Cognac, this is actually a type of brandy. If you don't know what a brandy is, I feel sorry for you, and I don't feel sorry for you. Brandy is a type of wine that has been distilled. Um, Cognac is from Cognac, France, a place in France. Only in France do they have the best wines and the best cognac. This is not the most famous cognac. This is not the most famous brand. I believe the most famous brand is Hennessy, which is mostly owned by a company called LVMH. If you do not know what that is, you will never become rich because you don't know who the rich people in the world are. I'm joking. It's owned by a guy, Bernard Arnault, from France, one of the richest men in the world. It stands for Louis Vuitton, uh, Moet Hennessy. Now, Louis Vuitton is a fashion. If you go to any fancy mall, they'll have Louis Vuitton store, luxury clothing. Uh, Moet is for Moet and Chandon, a famous type of champagne. Champagne is not distilled. Um, it is only maybe like, I don't know, 5-10% alcohol. Champagne. If you haven't drank champagne, I'm telling you, you got to try real champagne from France. I bought it once. I bought it. One of my daughter's kiddushim. I'm going to be putting out a video of my other daughter's kiddush I just had. Great kiddush, proof number 5, the best Daf Yomi share ever. That video will be coming out soon. We had a great time here. I brought different cocktails in here. We had a great time. But yeah, Moet Hennessy is cognac, the most famous one. Hennessy. Anyway, that's LVMH. I don't know why I'm telling you this, but it's facts you gotta know. You gotta know this stuff. You wanna be a real artist like me, you gotta know this stuff. Hopefully I'll enjoy this today. 150 shekel. I don't know, $50. I think it's worth it for Shabbos. Come on. Anything for Shabbos, right? Get paid back for Shabbos. I think I'm just gonna buy a new bottle of whiskey or alcohol or scotch every Shabbos because you get paid back for Shabbos, right? We have a great share for you today. We have a shir that's going to be talking about, again, this machlokas we had yesterday about Zika, Ein Zika, discussion when a Yevama falls to a Yavam. Is there really a connection between them? Are they considered, so to speak, married or not? This we discussed with Rabbi Shmuel Wittau a couple days ago. Love to get more into that. Maybe he'll come on next week and tell us more about that. Also, we talk about on Daf Yudchem and Beis, we're going to talk about a continuation of this machlokas between Reb Shimon and the Rabbanon about Eishes Achiv Shelo Haya Ba'olamo, right? In order to do the mitzvah of Yibum, you have to live at the same time. You have to be contemporaries with your brother. We asked a fundamental question: why the Torah wasn't picking on Mishnayos? We're talking about 3 brothers and not 2 brothers. Obviously, the simple case of Eishes Achiv Shelo Haya Ba'olamo is when there's 2 brothers, one dies, and then the second brother is born after the first brother dies, not as an intermediate brother. The fact that the Gemara goes out of its way to say that, it's going to be an answer to yesterday's Yinat Ben Sion. So, in order to answer the first question we asked in yesterday's Yinat Ben Sion, we're going to be able to figure it out from today's daf. I have an answer for you. I believe this is the truth. It answers one of the opinions in the Gemara yesterday about the source of Eishes Achiv Shelo Haya Ba'olamo. Let's get right into it. Let's get started right now. The Gemara on top of Yudchem and Aleph says, we're trying to prove, again, we had a machlokas between Rav Huna and Rav Yehuda. Rav Huna says, Ein Zika, and Rav Yehuda says, Yesh Zika. So, where's the Messiah? Let's bring a proof to Rav Yehuda. Yevimto Shemesa, Mutter Ba'achosa. Mishnah says that a Yevama that dies, right, before the actual Yibum happened, while she's in the bond of Yibum, you can marry the Yavam, who is supposed to do Yibum. He's allowed to marry her sister. So why does it specify her sister? Bachosa and be low. He can't marry the mother. He can only marry the sister, not the mother. Why is that? Because must be that there's a zika. It's considered he was married already to the lady, and therefore you can't marry a mother and her daughter, even if the daughter passed away. A sister, we know that if she passes away, you can marry her sister. But Zua didn't feel ima. Really, the Gemara says it could be even her mother. She's a mother. I did Tana Reisha. The Gemara deflects Rabbi Yehuda's proof. I did Tana Reisha. Ishto shemesa mutter ba'achosa. Since the Reisha was talking about where the Ishto, his wife, not a Yevama, his wife died, you're allowed to marry her sister, which is a pasuk in the Torah. Dafka ba'achosa v'ima lo. You can't marry a mother if you're married to a woman. And she died. You can't marry her mother. You can't marry your mother-in-law. Havila Yisura Daraisa, that's an Issa Daraisa to marry a mother and a daughter. Tananami Seifa Mutter Ba'achosa. Therefore, the Seifa also uses the lashon of the language Ba'achosa, even though it's Lav Dafa, could even be the mother. Basically, Rav Huna Bar Chia asks a question on the sheet of Rav Yehuda. Asma Maimer Umeis. How could you hold her zika if you did Maimer, right? This is our mission on Daf It Zayin Aleph says, right? If in the case of Eishach Kashalei Be'olam, the second brother, we have three brothers. The second brother, who was a contemporary of the first brother, he did Maimer. He did a Kedushin, but he didn't do the full Yibum yet. He gave her a ring, but he didn't do Yibum. He wasn't Boel, or he wasn't together with her. Shnia Nami Yibum Miyama. The Mishnah says the second woman, the Sarah of her, right? The Shimon, the second brother, his wife, the Yevamos only did Maimer to him. She still Chalitza, not Yibam. Time without Maimer. The reason he did Maimer, Halo Avva Maimer, because they're rabbinically considered married. Once they do Maimer, it's considered like a rabbinic Yibam. So therefore, it's considered a Sarah of the Erva. The Erva is the Eish Zachar Shalai Balam. She's a Sarah, so therefore, you can't do Yibam because in the Rabbanon they're considered a Sarah's Erva. But you can't not do Yibam because in the Raisa she's not a Sarah. So therefore, you have to do Chalitza. If you hold like Rav Yehuda, there is Zika. Havle Sarah's Eish Zachar Shalai Balam. Even without doing Maimer, there's Zika, so it's already considered co-wives. It's considered like they're married already. So the bezika through zika, I'm a rabba who didn't afagav the but my rabba answers, even if I didn't do maimer, shnia mifetz chalza yivum lamiyama. Still, even if you do maimer, the case says maimer, even if you do maimer, you need chalitza, not yibum. Hadik tani maimer, real I'll tell you yesh zika, right? Like it doesn't like Rav Yehuda, there is zika. Hadik tani maimer, why does it say maimer? La Fuke mi Beishamai, to come tell you now, like the Shita Beishamai, down Maimer Kona Kinyan Gomer. Beishamai has a Shita that Maimer on a Doraisa level works to affect Yibum, even if you don't even though you have sexual relations. Kamash Malan, so therefore the Chiddush is, that's why it says Maimer over here. But really we'd say that there would be a Zika, but the Zika, even according to Rav Yehuda, the Zika is not considered strong enough. We'll have to learn what together is Zika. Zika, it doesn't mean exactly like you're married. That's what Rav Yehuda is suggesting age Zika, but it's not considered married, considered the wife to be a Sarah, a co-wife. She's not considered a co-wife. Abai asks the following question. You have two brothers, they were contemporaries. One of them died without children. The second brother now has the ability to do Yibam, and he wants to do Maimer first. Below his he didn't do Maimer. And then another brother, third brother was born. Mace Harisho Mace. And then the second brother dies. Harishona Yotza Mishum Ejach Shalabel. The first wife, who was originally the wife of Reuven, she is Ejach Shalabel Mashnia, Bemes. The second wife, she does Chalitza or Yibam. Could even do Yibam. She's not a Sarah's Erva, because he was never married to her. V'yamras Yesh Zika. Second brother was never married to the Yevama. If Zika is considered a connection, it would be Zika. So you see that there is no such thing as Zika. This author of this mission, Zika. There are other Tanoim that hold Yesh Zika. Yehuda follows those Tanoim. Remeir is the author of this mission that says Ein Zika. Misreli Remeir and Zika. The Remeir, in fact, hold there's no Zika about none. Arbach and Shneim and Sheyachayas. You have four brothers. Two of them are married to two sisters. The other two, either not married or they're married to other ladies. So Mesu and Mesu, and then these two, the two husbands that are married to two sisters died. And Nisu and Hachayos. Hare Elu Cholzulum is Yevamos. Those the remaining two brothers, they do Chalitza and not Yibum. If for a mayor held, there's no Zika. Hani mitrei basi kasyan. There's no connection at all. So then these two sisters, they come from two different houses, from two different husbands. Highly Avim Chada, but highly Avim Chada. Why can't they each? They're not considered, right? There's an Isser Acho Zikugaso. We're going to talk about this, that two sisters that fall, two brothers in Yibam, so it's called Ahmid Rabbanan, it's called Acho Zikugaso. It's considered to be the sister of your Zika, so therefore it's considered like you're already married potentially to two sisters, which you can't be married to two sisters at the same time. So, but if you hold Ein Zika, which we're suggesting our Meir holds, so then there's no connection at all. It's not called Acho Zikugaso, so you can be miyabim each one you want. One brother can be miyabim, one brother can be miyabim the other, and they're never considered Zikas. They're never considered sisters in Zika. Where's the Lolam Ein Zika? Really, there's no Zika. Mishum Gasavar, what's the reason they have to do Chalitza, not Yibum? Because Gasavar also levatal mitzvah Yibum. And Meir is worried of something else, that you're going to levatal the mitzvah Yibum. The Dilma, Adam Yabim Chad, Mayis Ida, when, right? If you both do Chalitza, so then that's good. You can do Chalitza at the same time. And if you do Chalitza, it's not called levatal mitzvah Yibum. It's supposed to do Yibum or Chalitza, one or the other. But to not do anything, when you're doing, the first brother is doing Yibum, so the other brother is going to die. Become Batlat Mitzvahs Yibmin. And therefore, you're going to Batlat Mitzvah Yibum, because now you can't do Yibum to the second sister, because you're married to the first one. You can't marry the second one. The second lady, she becomes Kare, she becomes an Erva. She's going to be Turam and a Chalitza Yibum. You're going to Batlat Mitzvah Yibum. Nothing you can do about it. The Gemara says, "V'in Zika tebatel." The Gemara says, "If there's no Zika, what's the problem?" He holds, or Gamliel is another town who holds no Zika, and he in fact holds it's mutter to vatmas yivim. That's not how you know that. Gamliel Omer mina v'imlo mina tamtin ashtagdil v'teitel azum mishum achasisha. He's talking about a case where again you have a girl who gets married as a katana by her mother. Her father died when she was young, and she was an orphan, and her mother or brother married her off midrabanan. Now, she could do mian when she becomes a Gedola, when she becomes 12 years old and she has Simanim, she can refuse the first guy. So, let's say then the brother, she fell, so her husband died. So she's subject to Yibum over here. And there's two brothers. Now, one brother goes and marries her sister, who's a Gedola. Right? She's a Ketana, but she's married to her sister, Gedola. So, he does Kiddushin, he doesn't marry her yet. So you have to wait. She waits till the Ketana grows older. And then, if she goes and does the Yibum, so then you could, one second here. Yeah, that's what the Gemara is saying. That she could wait. If she refuses, so then he can consummate his marriage to the other sisters of Gedola. And the other sister, right, who was a town, now she's a Gedola, she's patur from Yibum because she's a sister. You can't marry two sisters. So you see, you can move out them as Yibum. Amar Le Ramliel, the Meir Karamas, you're asking from Liel and Meir, what's the difference, right? There's two different people. Raglil and Meir are two different people. It's very possible that one holds, they both hold Ein Zika, but one holds you could matal even, and one holds you can't. Whereas the Achigam Rina, we're trying to say this, Rameir Chayesh Afilu Sveikar. Ramliel is worried even about a suffix matal even. How could that be? Ramliel Afilu Levadai Lechayesh, and Ramliel even where it's a Vadai, where you know that she's going to grow up and you're going to matal even for sure, right? Right. Either way, if the Ketana goes ahead and she decides to marry the guy, so then you're mavatel. You're mavatel the mitzvahs yibum. You're mavatel the mitzvahs yibum because you can't marry the sister anymore. If she doesn't marry him, then you can't marry either. So then you could marry, but the first sister is going to be pushed aside. So therefore, he's vada. He's not worried about mavatel mitzvahs yibum. So how could that be? Our mayor is worried on a suffix, and Raglil is not even worried about a vadai. It can't be. It's so far away, having opinions so far apart. Where it says Dilman lechayesh, feel vada lechayesh, man lechayesh feel sveka chayesh. Where it says maybe it's not like more. I mean, maybe it's impossible to say that. Where maybe it is possible to say that. Maybe if you are worried, you're worried even for a suffix. You're not worried. You're not even worried for a short or vadai. I'm like Abai the Rav Yosef, how did Rav Yehuda? So the Gemara basically at this point has concluded its proof that Rav Yehuda holds Zika, there is considered Zika. What is the gather of Zika? That is going to be the subject, even in the future. We're going to talk about what exactly the nature of Zika is. Obviously, it doesn't mean exactly that they're considered married, but it doesn't mean that they're not married. So, what is it? Are they married? Are they not married? Is it Yibam? Because even if you hold the age Zika, there's a mitzvah to do Yibam. So, what are you doing? What are you accomplishing by Yibam? What's the point of Yibam? If Zika means like you did Yibam already, so it doesn't mean you did Yibam. It's still a mitzvah to do Yibam. No one argues. Even if you hold the age Zika, there's a mitzvah to do Yibam. To be bold, to be together with the woman. I'm like Abayla Rav Yosef. How did Rav Yehuda the Shmuel? The Gemara tries to find the source of Rav Yehuda. Rav Yehuda is a Talmud of Rav and Shmuel. He says Rav Yehuda learned it from Shmuel. Like the Snan, Mishnah, Yidchanamad Beis, Top Yidchanamad Beis. Shomeres Yavam Shkidish Echav Esachosa. Shomeres Yavam. Again, she's a lady who falls for Yibam. Shakidesh Achav Esachoso. Now the Yevamos falls in front of two brothers. So one brother then goes and Makadesh, he does Kiddushin to the sister. So now you're stuck in a quandary over here because he can't go and consummate his marriage because seemingly he has, we're going to see according to Shmuel, Zika. There's a Zika, and therefore if he consummates his marriage to the sister, he'll be married to two sisters at the same time. One real marriage, one with a Zika. Says clearly that's what you have to do. You're worried about this. We hold the Zika, and therefore you have to wait till your brother does Chalitza or Yibam. If he does Chalitza or Yibam, then it's his wife, and therefore there's no more Zika anymore. The Zika is gone. And you can go ahead and marry the woman you're Makadesh. Amar Shmuel, halach and Yudam Seira. Shmuel holds Yudam Seira. Shmuel is the one who says Yesh Zika. Amar like either Rav Ma'it, where it says maybe it's like Rav, maybe like Rav, who's also Rebbe. Amar like Kasha the Rav, but Rav Huna is the other opinion. Says it ain't Zika according to the name of Rav. So Rav held obviously ain't Zika. Where it says maybe Rav, it wasn't clear what Rav's opinion was. Rav Huna attributed his Shita Zika to Rav. I mean, Rav really wasn't clear what he held. My answers came when the Itmar Mishmei the Shmuel Behedya Mishmei the Rav Kamorai. Shmuel is clear that he holds the Zika, and the Rav maybe we're not sure. Loshav Kina Mishmei the Shmuel Behedya Mokminan Kamorai. We don't go for a suffix when we have a Vadai. A Vadai is like Shmuel. We'll assume Rav Yehuda learned it from Shmuel. V'aliba the Rav. V'aliba the Rav. Amar Rav Kahana. Amrishan l'shmayis k'mei the Rav Zvid. He said, I said this teaching, this Shmuel we're talking about in front of Rav Zvid. Minahar da Amar Asun Hachmas Sisan La'anam Ahedya Mastin. We have it clear that Rav Yehuda said the name of Shmuel. Amar Rav Yehuda Amar Shmuel Shomeres Yavam Shemesa Asr B'Ima. Shomeres Yavam. Right, she's waiting Yibam, and then she dies before Yibam happens. Now the Yavam can never marry the mother. Alma Kasav Yesh Zika. Must be they were somewhat married. And therefore, since he was married to the daughter already, even though they didn't do Yibam, because of the Zika, so they can never marry the mother. As the Shmuel Tameh, and Shmuel goes according to his reasoning, the Amar Shmuel Allah Rabbi Yehuda Mesera. And Shmuel, like we said before, holds like Rabbi Yehuda Mesera. So again, saying he's Zika. V'sricha, you need both teachings. The Ashmin and Yesh Zika, if we just learn from the case of the mother of Shomeres Yavam is Asr B'Ima, Havi Hana Abba Amina Hani Mili B'Chad. That's only when there's one brother. But Shrei, the case of Yehuda Meseira is talking about there's two brothers. Then we can say there's two brothers, ain't Zika, right? There's more of a reason to say Yesh Zika was only one brother because he's the only one who has the mitzvah to do evil. So it's like they're married. When you have two brothers, right? We don't know. A woman can't be married to two brothers at the same time. So maybe this is for ain't Zika when you have two brothers waiting to do Yibam. Kamashman, therefore, he teaches the teaching of Rabbi Yehuda Meseira that there's two. There's even when there's two brothers, there's still Yesh Zika. I would only say there's Zika when she's still living, the Shomeres Yavam. Misa, when she dies, right? You're waiting to marry the Yavam and she dies. Pakala, Zika. We say retroactively there was no Zika over there. You can marry the mother. The Zika B'Gdila Pak. We don't say that Zika retroactively goes away. There was a Zika, you were considered married to the daughter. You never marry the mother again. That's another statement of Shmuel, of Rabbi Yehuda, the name of Shmuel. The Mishnah says, a new Mishnah. I love new Mishnayos. We forget about all the old sugyas that were very hard. If it was too hard for you, you can come by to my house. You can drink some cognac with me and, take away your sorrow at having to learn Maseches Yevamos because it's so hard and terrible. All right, Mishnah says. Now, the reason I like to buy it. First of all, I want to up my bar. I really want to have a liquor collection. I like. I'm not a big drinker of liquor, but I do like making cocktails because I think it's fun. Um, Cognac is essential for some cocktails. There's a one I have my eyes on called a Sidecar. It's kind of famous. Sidecar. It's basically cognac with triple sec. Triple sec is basically an orange liqueur made out of orange peels. Um, the orange comes with the orange peels, not the actual orange. Triple sec. It's kind of famous for bartenders. If you're a bartender, you for sure know about this. If you're not a bartender, you might know about it also. If you go to frequent bars, um, the most famous brand I think is called Contral. Contral. That is, I think, the highest ABV alcohol by volume. I think 40% alcohol by volume. You mix that Contral with cognac, and you got yourself a Sidecar. So we're looking to hopefully one day have a Sidecar, maybe at the Siyum of. Well, I'm a Yevamos. The Siyum of the second parak. We'll have a L'chaim together, me and my listeners. Come on, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and join me. All right, the Mishnah, Yochel Beis, Shnei Achim Meis Achad Mehem V'Yibim Hasheni As Eish Achiv. This is a very similar case to the first Mishnah in this parak. Again, two brothers, one of them dies. The difference in this Mishnah is that the second brother, before the third brother is married, he's Miyabim the Sheni. He marries. He's a contemporary of his first brother, Shimon. He marries his brother's wife, and then the third brother is born. In the first Mishnah, the third brother is born before the second brother takes the Yevama as his wife. We'll see the difference in a second. Umeis Rishona, and then Umeis, and then the second brother dies. Rishona Yotam Mishum Eis Da'achav Shalai Abalamo. Again, this is Shita Darabana. It's considered Eish Da'achav Shalai Abalamo. This wife of the first brother, and the second wife, the co-wife, who was the wife of Shimon, she is considered Tsaras Erva, and she's Tura Menachlis of an evil. Also, by Maimer, if he did Maimer, the second brother did Maimer, he didn't actually do Yibum, Meis, Hashniya, Chalez, exactly the din in our first Mishnah. There's Chalitza, no Yibum, you can't do Yibum because she's not your wife, she's not your contemporary brother. He never married the Yevama. So on a Doraisa level, you could do Yibum. She's not considered a Sarah, but the Rabban is considered sort of married then because of the Maimer. So therefore, it's considered on the Rabban a Sarah, so you can only do Chalitza and not Yibum. Rishon Omer, here is the name Shita of Shimon. Rishon Omer Yabim Leizem Ben Shirta Cholot Leizem Ben Shirta. We're going to see Rishimon's going not just on this Mishnah, he's going on the first Mishnah. He argues also in the case of three brothers, Reb Shimon is the one to go out there and say, no, it doesn't make a difference because once the second brother Shimon married the first brother's wife, and he has a contemporary brother. Levi is his contemporary brother because when Shimon died, Levi was already born. So therefore, it removes the status according to Shimon of Eish Achav Shalayah Ba'olamo. It's considered Eish Shalayah Ba'olamo because really, she was married. She did Yibum to the second husband. So therefore, it's considered Eish Shalayah Ba'olamo. It's a regular case of Yibum, and therefore, her and the Sarah fall to Levi for Yibum or Chalitza. You can do whichever one you want, Yibum or Chalitza. You have that option doing Yibum or Chalitza, her or the Sarah. There's no erva. There's no Eish Zachav Shalai Abalamo. It's considered Eish Zachav Makom Mitzvah. Gemara says, Amar Oshaya, Chalach Shimon Afrei Shona. Shona argued even in the first Mishnah. How do you know this? We might think Sami Mishnah Yisera, Baba Dereisha, Laman Kasanila. It says two different cases. So why did it say the first case? Ilaim al Rabbanon. If you say the Chiddush of the first Mishnah is Rabbanon, Hashta Yibum L'Saf Nolad, the Chi Ashkecha Betera Ashkecha Asher Rabbanon. If you had a case of he did Yibum, which is our Mishnah, right? He did Yibum. The second brother, he did Yibum, and then he's born. The third brother is born. The third brother is finding when he's born, he finds already Ruvain, the original wife, in a case of Heter. He's actually Shimon's wife. Shimon's wife, he's a contemporary. Shimon died after Levi was already born. Asher Rabbanon. The Rabbanon is still in that case considered Eish Zach Shalei Balam. Nolad V'Achak Yibim, right? In the first Mishnah, where it's Nolad V'Achak Yibim, where he was born and then Shimon did Yibum. He found originally when he was born, Levi, the wife was waiting for Yibum, so it was considered Eish Zachav Shalei B'Olamo. Elav Rabbi Shimon Itzer. That must be the first Mishnah according to Rabbi Shimon. Tana Rishal Dichakach Rabbi Shimon. The first Mishnah tell you the strength of Rabbi Shimon, right? That even though when he was born, Levi, she was considered Eish Zachav Shalei B'Olamo. Since Shimon married her, so therefore it became okay. Tana Seifa Dichakach Rabbanan. The Seifa teaches the Chiddush of Rabbanan that even they asked her, even if he did Yibum Shimon before Levi was born, but then who did if Rabbi Shimon Reisha? Shimon really should have said it already in the Reisha. He waited for Rabbanan to say both cases, and then he argued on both of them. So the Gemara says, according to Rabbi Shimon, all these cases are mutter. So where we know in the Torah, we learn in Daf It Zayin, there's Kiyeshu Achim Yachtav. What is that coming to tell you? This pasuk coming to tell me. We learned yesterday about Eish Dachim Shalei Ba'olamo, that if it's Eish, they have to be in the same world together. If they're not in the same world together, why does the pasuk tell me Kiyeshu Achim Yachtav? Comes to exclude a case where they're not living together, not contemporary brothers. According to Shimon, in all these cases it's mutter. So where is the Torah telling you they have to be Ba'olamo? So the Gemara says, Mishkachas la b'chad achom misvenola loach. This is the case. This is the question I was saying, right? If there were only two brothers, not three brothers, it was two brothers. It's a simple case, right? You have Reuven and Shimon. Reuven was married to someone. He died, left Yevamos, and then Shimon's born. Or alternatively, now Mitrei v'lo yibim v'lo mis. Alternatively, there's three brothers. Shimon dies, and his Yevamos falls. Reuven dies. His Yevamos falls to Shimon, and Shimon doesn't do yibum or chalitza, and then the third brother is born. So now Levi wants to do Yibum with Eish Zachav Shalei B'Olamo. Reuven's wife is never considered Shimon's wife, so even Rabbi Shimon more in that case, that's a problem. We're going to use the basis of this Gemara, the source of even with Ben Zion. Get ready, it's going to be a great one. Bishlama Yibum Achach Knola. So that makes sense in that case. Our Mishnah where he does Yibum, Shimon does Yibum, and then Levi is born. So, according to Reb Shimon, it makes sense that he's being born into the world. She's Shimon's wife, and Shimon is a contemporary. So that's a regular case of Yibum. In the first case in our Mishnah, where Levi is born and he hasn't done Yibum yet, Shimon, my taima. What's the reason, Rabbi Shimon? Rabbi Shimon obviously holds there's no Eish Zachav Shalei B'Olamo because of Zika. Shimon holds Zika. There's some connection between, even if it didn't do Yibum, there's a connection between Shimon and the Yevamos. Zika K'tusa Dami, and Zika is almost like you married her. Master Rabbi Yosef has the following question: how should Zika have a Maimer Misaf later Rabbi Shimon? Iki K'nusa Dami Yilav. Rabbi Shimon even holds that even if you do Zika, there's a Zika, there's a connection, and he does Maimer, he does a Kedushin before doing Yibum. Rabbi Shimon has a suffix whether it's considered K'nusa or that it's considered a full Yibum. If it's just Zika, for sure, he would agree that it's not. Tomorrow, we're going to stop here. Tomorrow, we're going to discuss where Reb Shimon knows that even if there's Zika and Maimer, it's not considered K'nusa Dami, it's not considered a full marriage. Hope you enjoyed today's shir. From me and Cognac France, we say goodbye to you and wish you a good Shabbos. If you don't have cognac, you must buy this before Shabbos. It's free. Anything you buy for Shabbos is free. Buy all your liquor and whiskeys before Shabbos, and you get 100% discount. It's great, right? All right, see you tomorrow.